So TechPoint S.O.S Challenge, we are community-based nonprofit Team 9, and our team name is the Quarantine. My name is Allie Brown.
My name is Henry Jam.
My name is Tyler Matheny.
My name is Robin Weitzel.
My name is Jian Wu.
Statement as a part of this challenge was, the nonprofit community organization in Indianapolis Morning Light treats each new day as a gift and wants to make sure that their residents are taken care of free of charge. Our group, as a part of the TechPoint S.O.S Challenge, has decided to create an initiative to improve the personal relationship with their clients in the community.
So, like any other organization, nonprofits are also affected by other factors outside their grasp. And so we've conducted an environmental analysis or a pest analysis to determine in which of these four factors, political, economic, social, and technological, of a couple of things that would affect nonprofits most. So political factors, we have the declining confidence in the political system as seen in the decreasing amount of voters every year. The amount of trust in nonprofits, of which we've seen to be highest in people with large amounts of monetary value. And in economic factors, we see that a lot of younger donors are being affected by rising housing prices, which we see in an increase of $70,000 from 2016 to now. And social factors, which are some demographics that nonprofits could use to market their material towards certain demographics. And technological factors, in which we see that their internet access of the entire nation currently is 88% accesses at least once a week, and that's projected to be 95% by 2015.
Our customer during this challenge has been Morning Light. Morning Light is a nonprofit organization in Indianapolis that cares for the terminally ill, seniors, and families of limited means in need of health, wellness, or end-of-life care. Our product has been created to help bring in residents during this time of COVID. Morning Light typically brings in all potential residents to the home to learn more about them, as well as give them a tour. They are currently unable to do this.
To provide some backgrounds here, what we have been doing, what Morning Lights has been doing is an in-person intake process where they take prospective residents in and walk them through the application using a paper form. There are obvious benefits to this process where they can talk to the potential resident and make them feel welcome. But obviously, there are limitations during a pandemic when they cannot take anybody on site and for the risk of infecting vulnerable residents. Which brings us to the option of Google Forms, which is something a lot of organizations have been doing for applications, for surveys, which is something a lot of us are used to for collecting information. But the nature of Morning Light is a terminal care facility where they really want their residents, they really want their residents and potential prospective residents to feel welcomed and want their potential residents to feel welcomed and really just feel compassion from them rather than being overwhelmed by a long list of text like what we normally see on Google Forms. That got us thinking, what if we had something as welcoming and communicative as in-person application, while at the same time as powerful and unrestrictive as Google Forms that can enable us to connect, to automate and connect with things like analytics, Google Sheets, and email services, things like that. So we want to build a more fluid experience for the film filming process, a more beautiful presentation that speaks to the user and shows the compassion that we would express from an in-person process.
So for Morning Light, we made a personal application. We also made them a custom QR code. So this QR code allows them to put it on the brochures and other materials that they have available. This would allow them to, even when they are able to bring people back on site or they are able to make visits and hand out their brochures, that they would be able to still use this form and still have access to it. Go to this form here. We created a form that serves as a personal application to Morning Light. This form is not designed to replace their current application, but rather provide supplemental information that would usually come from an on-site visit. It starts out with the basic first and last name, as well as asks what name they go by. I will use demo. It shows images such as this one of the home in Indianapolis, as well as calls back to the name that they entered in question 2 as a personal touch. It asks questions such as favorite foods, if they would enjoy time in the garden, and what activities they would enjoy. Morning Light strives to make their home as much of a home as possible so that their residents have the most comfortable time that they can. The final question of this form asks if there's anything else they want Morning Light to know about them. This allows Morning Light to save money by sticking to the free version of Typeform, as well as makes this process easier on the applicant. As the applicant is likely going through a very difficult time, we want our form to be the last thing on their mind.
You may have just seen our tech stack turned out to be incredibly simple. The tool we use to create those designs is Typeform. As you may have just seen, the tools we use turned out to be incredibly simple. We use Typeform to create all the designs, and we use QR Code Monkey to create a QR code to share with the prospective residents on the brochures and elsewhere. And according to Morning Light's request, we also integrate Typeform with Google Sheets so that they can print out the residents' responses to integrate with their existing paper process that they're currently using. And beyond that, we still have more possibilities for integrations, including Google Analytics for evaluating which applicants are coming from which platform, MailChimp for managing a mailing list to send out updates to the applicants, Zendesk for providing applicants live support while they're in a form. And with Typeform, we can do so much more beyond just that.
So for our business model canvas overview, we had key partners, key activities, key resources, cost structure, and value propositions. And with all of these, we kind of go into our organizations we worked with. Our coaches were a part of One Cause, and we helped out Morning Light. We wanted to better enable their communication platforms, and that's why we came up with the resource of Typeform. It was free for Typeform to be used since we only used the 10 questions, and the customers were very happy about it. So our business model really helped us succeed in this aspect.
So for the business model canvas in the customer segments, that's essentially who we want to be reaching out to. We're looking for nonprofits that want more channels to reach out. We're looking for nonprofits and need more ways to interact, and nonprofits are concerned with the community work with. And with these nonprofits in our customer relationships, we want to have frequent communication with these nonprofits, and we want these channels to be created based on their needs. Now, these channels, to create them, we're going to have direct contact with these partner nonprofits through Zoom or email. And as for revenue, there isn't really going to be any revenue stream, as the goal is to provide a service for nonprofits, and the profit essentially for these nonprofits is just to have another channel for them to reach out to.
The value proposition summary falls into 3 main categories: the product and service offered, the pain relievers, and the game creators. So the product and service offer is a more personalized application towards the Morning Light customers. Our pain reliever is customers will be able to see the places that they're going to be living through pictures, thus making that first interaction not as awkward as before COVID. And our game creators are the product allows for more personalized questions towards the customers. and an easier access through a QR code.
As said in our business model, our revenue model is non-existent due to working with a nonprofit and our product only offering like brand awareness and better relationships with clients instead of a profit.
Morning Light's customers have stated that our product makes their application process easier and better suits their needs because it is more of a personalized application towards them.
Our final question in this presentation is why now? And the reasons we have is Morning Light cannot bring new potential residents on site with existing in-person system due to the pandemic going on. They need things to be digital electronic, just like our world is becoming, to ensure everyone is safer. The potential for expansion by adjusting advertising strategies based on analytics. This will help them advertise far more better when they have hard data they can use. And finally, a more personalized approach in relationship with current and prospective residents. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and we hope everyone still stays safe and healthy.